First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekakadash, and the Monsters Great Millstone, while learned his truth. And also to those elect that is scattered abroad, I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is Unrighteous Decree that they have prescribed. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So I have a little news, have a little article here about D.C. Bowser Pinto crime bill. So, we know that they're bringing out a lot of different bills, a lot of different executive orders. We're not ignorant of what Satan devices. So we see right here whereby it says here, it said the Bowser Pinto plan will not make D.C. safer. So they're trying to make Washington, D.C. safer place to live. And one thing about it, let's see what's in this bill. So it's pretty ridiculous. We cannot make these things up. It says instead of a solution, Mayor Bowser's proposed plan is full of cuts to vital social services. Hey man, you see they rolling it out right before I said cuts on the food stamps. It's cuts, it's going to be cuts there. We already heard about that, so we already know that this getting ready to put you in a chokehold, to take it under the skin. So we coming upon this. This reset is happening right before our eyes. Also, we knowing that, hey man, the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. It also said cuts on domestic violence support, cuts on homeless prevention and eviction support. So we seeing a lot of eviction, all around America. People getting evicted and becoming homeless. So they're causing the problem and they have the solution. That is this new world order, this digital society, hey man, it's right in front of our face. So we got a little bit more we're going to read on this. It said cuts on emergency rental assistance. It says cuts on transitional support from shelter to housing programs, cuts youth and reentry diversion programs, a lot of different cuts. So we already know what this is leading to. So now this is right here. This is ridiculous what they're trying to come up with. Said face covering criminalized. It said any item worn that cover most of the face are now criminalized with detention or arrest. So as the penalty, this includes but is not limited to hoodies, bandanas, and hijabs. The police will be the sole decider of which face covering are allowable. So, hey, man, you ain't gonna be able to wear a face covering, a hoodie, or some type of mask or something, a bandana on your head, whatever. If they see you wearing a face covering, they thinking that you are a criminal. So we seeing what this is leading into. So these unrighteous decrees only go into a law that they trying to bring into place. They framing mischief by a loss. Hey man, this Bible spot on. Said fear is now cause for arrest. Wow. He said anyone wearing any items that cover most of the face who causes another person to feel afraid can now be arrested regardless of the person's action. Man, this is ridiculous. So we already knowing that, hey, man, these things are getting ready to come into play. So, they're going to have these these checkpoints, these lockdowns. A lot of things are coming. You will not be able to go in another city. And a lot of things like this, a reason to put you in these they said detention center, but they're gonna be FEMA camps. You know what I'm saying? These quarantine center, these chipping stations. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what this is going into. So the mayor of DC, this is his proposed plan to keep DC safe. Hey man, we're not ignorant of Satan device, man. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to bring forth all sorts of unrighteous decree. It's getting ready to be a time of trouble that we never. This is ridiculous. So a person can just say, I'm afraid of him. The police can arrest you and detain you for you don't know how long. So that goes into Revelation chapter 2 and 10. Be thy faithful. You know what I'm saying? The devil shall cast some of you into prisons. Hey man, a lot of these things are coming. Let's go here. It said I got a video too to bring it out with more edification. We're just going to scan over, then we're gonna bring out the video. We'll have more edification in a minute. It's a gathering. It said gatherings of two people criminalized. It said the police can now designate any neighborhood as high risk, allowing them to arrest innocent people for gathering in groups of two or more if police suspect they might commit a crime. They can be fined or imprisoned. Hey man, this going into the famine of the world. So 2 or 3 people gathered together. They just walk up and say, "What are you doing?" We feel that you're trying to do some sorts of crime. Put your hands behind your back. So, hey, this what is coming into this totalitarian, this dictatorship. It's total control. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes, man. Man, we got to be watching, praying, and being so. A lot of people getting ready for the Super Bowl. A lot of people down here where I live at in this dirty South talking this damn Mardi Gras, all this wickedness. While you're sleeping, the devil's constantly getting busy. It says here, it's an active duty status of officers is now secret. It says here, it said the public will no longer be able to know if an officer who was found to have engaged in misconduct or killed somebody is still on active duty or not. So man, you seeing it. You don't even know, they could say, hey, you don't need to worry about that. He can still be working. Been just killed someone or did some sort of something that was unlawful. So they constantly doing this each and every day. So man, it's getting ready to get very, very bad. Let's go here. Said killing car chase suspect now legal. So a lot of people that's stealing cars and going in these police chases, they can kill you now. So we seeing this right here. I think they are trying to vote on this bill. I don't know whether it's been passed or not, but we will measure the time diligent. I have more information as it come available. But we know that they're voting on this bill as we speak. So if passed, which in fact, I don't know whether it passed or not, but I know they're getting ready to vote on or they already have voted on. But we'll have more information as it come available. It says here again, it said killing car chase suspect now legal. Police can now kill suspect during car chases, a practice that is currently banned. The police will become the sole decision maker about life and death, regardless of guilt or innocence. So they're already doing that right now. A lot of people be running away from a police officer and get shot in the back, get killed. So this right here is just going to justify what they already are doing. So hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. It says here, show your papers, Metro law. So it says here, the police will now be able to immediately arrest anyone suspected of misconduct while riding the Metro who refuses to share their name and home address. For instance, say if a plainclothes officer demanded your address on the Metro, not telling them could now lead to arrest. So this happening already. Only thing they trying to do is make it legal what they're already doing. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We constantly warn you left and right. Also, we know this is going to lead into insurrection. This is going to lead into what? A civil war. All sorts of hell breaking loose all across America. This is what they want. Protesting, rioting, looting, chaos. Confusion and disorder. Order out of chaos. We seeing it happening right before our eyes. So they get ready to roll it out. Also, we know they get ready to come with this digital society. So now let's go here to today's video. And after today's video, we will start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Did y'all hear about these new outrageous laws? Like you can get criminalized and get a fine or even go to jail for gathering with 2 or more people. And plenty other outrageous laws too. Here's another crazy one. Any face coverings is criminalized. Yeah, whether that be a hoodie, bandana, or even religious attire. Yeah, gatherings of two or more people, you can get criminalized if the police deems an area to be high risk. Now they can just arrest you if they suspect you might commit a crime. Yeah, they can kill car chase suspects now, regardless whether they're guilty or innocent. Interesting. Fears now cause for arrest. So somebody makes somebody else scared, now they can get arrested. I could definitely see a Karen using this in their Pokemon card package. Now we have to show our papers? If not, you getting arrested? That definitely reminds me of that Phineas and Ferb episode where Doofus Smurf took over. On the last crazy one, if you drop your gun, that's now an extra charge. See right here? They said if you get shot by the police and you drop your gun, it's going to be a longer sentence. So it's another crime because you dropped the gun. And this is why it's important for us to pay attention to the laws that they be just dropping, because what do they got going on?
So I've looked over the entire Bowser-Pinto crime bill here in D.C., and when I tell y'all, it is worse than fucking stop and frisk. All day long is worse than stop and frisk, and we need to do something about it. They're voting today. This bill does not make the city safer at all whatsoever. If this bill is passed, gatherings of 2 or more people will now be considered illegal. 2 or more people. 3 black people can't have a picnic in the park. 3 people, period, can't have a picnic in a fucking park. In this bill, they're allowed to make zones where people are not allowed to stand outside. What? This bill makes all face coverings illegal, including hijabs. Yeah, sorry, Muslim women. No more hijabs. This bill allows any police officer, whether on duty or not, to demand your name and your address if you're riding any metro. This bill allows police officers to literally arrest you if they think you're about to commit a crime. This bill allows for police officers to shoot fleeing suspects. And within that same vein, it makes it illegal to put down your gun if an officer demands it. So if you got a gun and the officer goes, lay down your gun. When you drop the gun, it adds an extra 2 charges. But if you don't, then you're killed by the police. And also within this bill, they cut emergency assistance, they cut emergency renewal assistance, they cut food stamps, they cut Medicaid, they cut all the social services. This is a bill for a police state. 100%. In this bill, it allows for the police to view their body cam footage before they make a report. This bill includes locking up people with no bond for all violent crimes. All I have to do is accuse you of a violent crime, and you're in jail until your trial. I don't think y'all get how big of that party is. All I got to do is say you punched me, and you gonna sit in prison until your trial date. You know those be like 2 years out, right? We're gonna do 2 years before you ever see a trial. And if we're going to be honest, this bill isn't going to affect the Georgetown students. It isn't going to affect the newly gentrifiers of D.C. It's going to affect Southeast. It's going to affect Anacostia. It's going to affect Benning Road. That's who it's going to affect. Let's be real here.
So basically what he's saying is that it's going to affect the Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native Indians. Jacob Trouble is beginning to come full circle. You know, Jacob Trouble is at hand. We know that we are very close to that time of trouble that we've never seen before. So we seeing they bringing forth all these different unrighteous decrees, these executive orders. He putting all these things into place. You know what I'm saying? It's totalitarian law, dictatorship, total control. That's what they're trying to do. Force you in a chokehold, take all of your goodies away from you. Like you already know the food stamp, Section 8, all these different things. You know, a lot of people right now are renting. You know, a lot of people are still homeowners. They're gonna try to take all that away from you. You know, you will own nothing and be happy. What do this sound like? You already know the new world order is coming it's right before our face, this global reset. So 2024, it's been a very exciting year. Just like Apostle Tahar, he's deemed this year is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. So, it's lining up just like clockwork. It's right on schedule. And one thing about it, in the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, it is fast approaching. So we're starting. Also, we knowing that it's going to be persecution of the saint, and also famine of the word is right around the corner. Amen. Seek the Lord while he can be found. The one that is seeking the Lord early will find his favor. Those are the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And also the prophets, they're working overtime, constantly warning you of these impending dangers. The Lord said, warn them for me. We're being a watchman for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So now we'll start today's lesson in Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. So when you go to that word decree, it goes into law. And also it said grievousness which they have prescribed or authorized. So we already know they trying to get it authorized. This law, this bill, they're trying to put it into place, to keep the city more safer. But one thing about it, it's not going to keep the city more safer. It's going to put the city into what? Chaos, order out of chaos. Verse 2, it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the rights from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. So we already know we're coming upon this time. These unrighteous decrees say, woe unto them. That means destruction to them. So we know that they're getting ready to try to bring forth this plan, this agenda. We already know what it's all about. It's right in front of your face. All the unbelief is getting ready to be a thing of the past. So now let's go here to Psalms chapter 94. Random scripture, Psalm chapter 94, and we'll start up at verse 20. Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20. And it reads, says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by a law? So that's what they're doing. This is spot on. They're framing mischief by a law. We already know they're bringing forth this agenda, this reset, this digital society, this grain of rice, this digital IDs. They're getting ready to force you in a chokehold. One thing about it, they want you to be totally dependent on them. Either you do it our way, or you're going to starve to death, or you're going to be put to death. A lot of people are going to try to save their life, and they get ready to lose their life. So we're seeing all these things coming into play. Basically, they're legalizing things to put you to death very quickly. So Jacob's trouble is getting ready to be off the chain. So let's read this again. It said, Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20 said, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by a law? We're seeing it right now. Verse 21, they gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous, and condemn the innocent blood. Verse 22 said, but the Lord is my defense and my power, is the rock of my refuge. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the Lord shall be a stronghold in times of trouble. And one thing about it, the Lord's name shall be a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. Verse 20 said, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our power shall cut them off. So the Lord is getting ready to cut them off. So we already know that we in that transition of power. We already know this temporal world, which in fact is Esau kingdom, is coming to a end very quickly. The Lord said, behold, I come quickly. The Lord said he will come like a thief in the night. That's why we got to be always watching, be circumspect, redeem the time wise, because he constantly slipping these things in right in front of your face. We seeing it happening right before our eyes. The Lord will be our defense. That stronghold when these things come to pass. The Lord will sustain it. The Lord will provide for us. So we know we right upon these times. So let's go here to let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Psalm chapter 58. Psalm chapter 58 and verse 2. And it reads, say, yea, say, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies. So yes, I say they always speaking lies. It's like in Washington D.C. telling you, everything is fine, everything is great. We trying to make this city safe. Hey man, we seeing that. Hey, the Lord said in what Sirach chapter, I think around Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10 said, "Never trust thy enemy." We get that in a minute. So we seeing that, hey, this is spot on. So we seeing that we are very close to this time. We are very close to all hell breaking loose. Man, we are here. Let's go here to Sirach, just random scriptures. Sirach chapter Ecclesiasticus. Let's get this right quick. Because a lot of people going to trust in the strength of Egypt, and they will be totally destroyed in this system. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Let's get this. I was just, I didn't want to butcher it. And it said, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So one thing about it, don't trust nothing that this man have to say. We're here to help you. We're here to make things safe. It's very convenient. It's very safe. It's very harmless. Whatever you want, we have it for you. We're here for you. We love you. If you believe that, the Lord said it right here. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So, hey, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, but only for a short season. We're in that short season now, and the Lord is getting ready to cut him off forever, and we cannot wait. Let's get another quick precept. Let's go here, Jeremiah chapter 22. Jeremiah chapter 22, I think it's, let me see where it's at. Jeremiah, let's see, that's where it's at. Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 13. And it reads, said, woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. Hey man, that's spot on. So that's what's been happening to us each and every day. Oppressed. We constantly, all sorts of unrighteous decrees, all sorts of wickedness and perverseness. All sorts of affliction, but only for a short time. We almost at the end of this thing. We seeing that he's getting ready to try to authorize these executive orders, these unlawful laws, unrighteous decrees that he's trying to bring forth. So we seeing this Bible is spot on. We seeing that the Lord's word is not returned in void, and we seeing that right now things could break out at any given time. It's time to seek the Lord. Let's read this again. Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 13 said, woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. So we seeing that, he's been doing that forever. You know what I'm saying? This cheap, man, I'm telling you, man, we almost at the end of this thing. The one that was last is getting ready to be first, and the one that was first is getting ready to be last. So we're in that transition of power. It's happening right before our eyes. The Lord is getting ready to repay. So now let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 15. This is the meat of the lesson right here. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. And it reads, said, for the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword in their hand. So we already know that when this they passing all these unrighteous decrees, and they're gonna come with these lockdowns and these mandates, already knowing that hey, the modern day sword is the gun. So we're gonna see all sorts of increased violence. It's constantly increasing. It's gonna be on a level that you have never seen before. Billions of people are getting ready to be unalive. Verse 16 said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. This is civil war. We already know they're not going to regard the government, not going to regard law enforcement. They're not going to regard each other, and the military. It's going to be a lawless time. Kill or be killed, raping, stealing, killing, protesting, looting. all sorts of what confusion and disorder is getting ready to happen. Also, we know that Russia and these China troops, UN, these super soldiers. But the Lord said when the enemy lift up that when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord's going to lift up that standard. So we know that that supernatural intervention is right around the corner. The Lord is getting ready to help us in ways that we do not know how. We already know that the Lord has got to help us. The Lord don't help us, we are doomed. But we already know it through the spirit and power of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, the Lord will never forsake us. He will never leave us. The Lord is with us all the way to the finish line. The Lord is with us, and the Lord is coming. So we don't have a thing to worry about, but trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. Verse 16 again said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Civil war is right around the corner. Things, civil war is imminent. We rumors after rumors. Also, what is that? They saying that Tucker Carlson is getting ready to do an interview with the Russian President Putin, and it said it may cause civil war. So a lot of backlash of him going to have this interview with Putin. So we don't know what may come of this interview, but Putin may drop some beams, some bombs. So we are going to measure the time diligently. So we seeing that things are picking up. Yeah, any given day, a lot of people are relaxing in their leagues, talking about this Super Bowl, talking about Mardi Gras, talking about what they're going to try to accomplish. Oh, I'm getting a degree. I'm going to do this. One thing about it, if you're not seeking the Lord, you'll get ready to die. We constantly warn you left and right. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Those are the elect, that true remnant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Starting with the 144,000 and the great multitude, the remnant that the Lord is getting ready to come back for, the house of David. We constantly warn you left and right. Verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? The unrighteous decrees, these lockdowns, these checkpoints, these mandates. They can call it any given time. And he putting these crazy ass laws they trying to constantly put into place, and I'm about to bring forth their enterprise, the NWO. You know what I'm saying? You would have to, in order to be a part of this new society, this new Catholic disco society, you would have to take it under the skin. You already know what I mean, the MOTB. Verse 18 said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. See, a lot of people going to be afraid. They're going to be what? Grown men is going to be travailing like a woman with child, crying and weeping, a vexation of spirit, a great sorrow, great mourning, great desperation. Hey, you're in for a rude awakening. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. That lack of bread goes into what? Food shortage, so the sown place is going to become unsold. We already know about our infrastructure. We already know about we're coming upon a great economic collapse which goes over these things left and right. We're sounding like a broken record, but we're going to keep sounding like a broken record because, hey, it's right in our face. It is spot on. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? We're living in end time, real time. So great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of sorrow. We already know World War III is constantly brewing. You know what I'm saying? We're almost at the boiling point. The Lord is gathering the nation. We're seeing it. Let's read this again. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy his houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So we already knowing that when they bring forth this new system, we already know it's going to cause all sorts of chaos, all sorts of death, all sorts of sorrow, all sorts of what? Mourning. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's coming right before our eyes at a fast pace. We knowing that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, but the Lord is getting ready to show up and show out, and we cannot wait. Rejoice ye heaven. So now let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 30, because we're very close to this time. Jeremiah chapter 30, we'll start up at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Hey, that's what we coming upon this time. When this enemy coming like a flood, it's gonna be all hell getting ready they get ready to tear this place to pieces. America's getting ready to be taken over, getting ready to be run over. That's why the Lord is going to have to lift up that standard. These men that's not in this truth, they're going to be bugged out of their damn mind. They're going to be walking like blind men. What is happening? What is going on? Jesus. Hey, it's going to be too late. Verse 17, it said, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who shall be saved out? The true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, starting with the 144,000, the prophets, and that great multitude, the remnant. The Lord is coming back for the house of David. We constantly warn you, left and right, the Lord is coming. The Lord is coming. Hey, our salvation, it is at the door. We seeing it. We are very excited. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. We'll close out here. Ephesians, one moment. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly. I said, not as fools, but as wise, knowing your surrounding, knowing your environment, do a 360 degree, look around, seeing what time that we're living in, knowing what time that we're living. Don't be sleeping. If while you're sleeping, the devil's constantly getting busy. Be circumspect. Hey, man, walk like on eggshell, because we're living in this time right now. The Lord's getting ready to bring these perilous times. Be circumspect, knowing what time that you're living in. The signs of the times are here. The prophets shall speak. At the end it shall speak and not lie. Verse 16, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. The days are growing more and more evil. The evils are growing all around us on every side. The plagues are not slacking down for a moment. They're going to constantly increase right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Redeem the time wise. And how do we do this? In this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding. The Lord said, this gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Then shall the end come, because we were scattered in all nations. But the Lord's getting ready to gather us back, into one stick. The Lord's coming back for the Israel of the Most High, but we are very excited. The Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 17. So wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we already know that they're coming with these unrighteous decrees. That's what the Tartarian law, this dictatorship, total control. You know what I'm saying? Whereby you will not be able to go into this city without having what? Paperwork. You've seen in those few little videos. So this is only a precursor of what's to come. Things gonna get worse and worse. We're seeing that it's constantly picking up. We're seeing that things are constantly escalating. Watch, pray without ceasing. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, keep our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. That is our kingdom. That is our final rest. That's why the Lord said, this is not your rest. Come out of here, my people. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a partakers of this. Come out of that mindset and come back under that total subjection to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because the Lord is the only way and he is the only answer. The Lord will provide for, the Lord will sustain it. And also the Lord is getting ready to come deliver us with great glory and great power. The King of the universe, he's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Unrighteous Decrees that they have prescribed. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rikakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.